Today I'm home from work for programming purposes. I know I said I shouldn't start working on the site until I have 1000 followers, but I said nothing about playing around with the Discogs data dump, so that is what I've done. I converted the artist data dump into a post-degree database because that is what Discogs uses. I usually use MySQL, but post-degree is better for really large databases, so I have that. But we have around the same number of artists that Discogs currently have. Now this data dump is a couple of weeks old, so it doesn't have all the artists currently on Discogs, but I'm just playing around for now. And I grabbed everything. There was some problem with the coding. It took quite a while, but this is my first experience with Discogs data dump. It actually works pretty well. I even built this viewer to see what other types of data I could extract, because Discog doesn't list date of birth or formed year separately, only in the biography, and then you can't use that data for anything else other than reading, so that's pretty stupid. And one of the most irritating things with Discogs, they do not have a country column. Where is this band from? It's so irritating. ChatGPT explained it, that Discogs only care about releases, and on the releases they have a country for where it's pressed. That's just so wrong. Sure, that information could be interesting, but it doesn't mean that ABBA is from Holland just because most were made in Holland because it was the cheapest place to mass produce records. Is just such a mess. So of course I will have a country where the band is actually from. I actually managed to extract birth and formed year for most of the columns that have that information or something like that. By just checking if it has band or if it has born. If it's born, well, then it's probably an artist, and that's the year he was born. If it's band in the bio, just copy 2006. This is saved to the DB. If someone will have to go through this manually and make sure it actually is the date of birth or something like that, but this really speeds it along. Just checking if that's the date of birth. Does it say that in the bio? Then just copy it to the column. So this is what I did, and this is just a search. I'm searching for Sundsvall right now. It says Stockholm up here, but I'm changing things around just to have a look at the data to try and understand it. And these are all the columns that Discogs actually have for an artist, except birth year and formed year. They do have additional things like URLs and aliases, but those are in separate DBs. This is just my first scrape, and I grabbed all those 9 million artists, and it was pretty quick, maybe 15-20 minutes to go over the whole file. That's what I've been doing today, and I'm really trying to figure out what the next step is. Am I gonna go to the records XML? That would be a large job. Or am I gonna do something more with this? Because I do have very interesting information, and here you can also see the ridiculous number Discogs put after artist. Yeah, I understand that's one way of solving it, but I don't think any of his friends call him Hans Johansson the Fourth. That's not the best way to do it. I don't know what the best way to do it is, but it's not Neon 75. One better way I could think of is the Moby Dicks and write Sweden in here, then that information actually conveys something. Could be called the Moby Dicks Sundsvall or something like that. Something that actually tells you something about the band instead of just a random number. So this is what I'll be doing today, and I don't know what the next step is. So if you have any ideas, let me know, or I will figure it out myself with the help of ChatGPT, because we're not in paradise yet.